So I am checking out the sound and the audio, trying to get acquainted with Streamlabs. This is all being recorded in Streamlabs. Streamlabs is not quite as good as OBS in the sense that there's a little less that you can do. In OBS, you can add EQ, different VST plugins to your audio. I'm sure there's more that you can do. That's just what I've explored. In Streamlabs, you can't. You can add filters in Streamlabs, but it's not as much. You can't. There's no option to add VST plugins. There's no EQ. There's just stuff like limiter, compressor. Actually, I'll open it up just so I can say it properly. Gain, noise suppression, noise gate, an expander, invert polarity, things like that. And that's all good, but I miss having my ability to add EQ and processing. But I can use like the enhancements in the Vocaster if I want, which you see I've got going on right now. I wonder if it shows up. Yep, okay. I can use that, and I never do that much. I did in the beginning when I first got my Vocaster, but I shortly after didn't like the way they sounded. They just sounded kind of boxy. And I've always known that you can come in here and you can adjust the EQing. Not a whole lot of options, but you do have bass, mids, and treble. And you've got this rumble reduction you can set on none, or you can put it on low or high. The compression, typically, see if I go like this, see where it puts the compression, and it's just a little too much. So I take it and I just drop that about halfway down, opposed to what it's got, and it puts it on the rumble reduction on low. This is what that sounds like. This is with the rumble reduction on high. All right, but I kind of prefer when I click it to rumble reduction, when I click it to none, it's got a much deeper sound, a much more bassy and warm sound, and I like this. This isn't bad. So with that being said, I might be able to get away with doing this and using this for my audio, because it maybe makes up a little bit for the lack of my VST plugins in OBS. So there's that option. I mean, this is like I said, adjusting these is probably the key, because I've always just kind of left it alone, and every time I use them, they just sound hollow or boxy. I just have never really cared for them. So there's that. I mean, I could adjust the bass, put it up a little bit, maybe run the treble up just a little higher, and make it sound, I don't know. I can adjust it and make it sound different. And then I can go through and do that with everything. Oh, okay. It looks like it puts everything on the same. Oh, no. So, no, those went back to. All right. So this is on low for the rumble reduction. This doesn't use as much compression. It puts the rumble reduction at low. The bass is pretty high up. And let's move along to warm. So warm didn't change at all. And bright didn't change at all. So I don't understand that really. But whatever. I'm going to go back over to here, and I just kind of like that sound. I don't know. Let's turn the compression all the way down. So this is what it would sound like with no compression. And then we're back to having a little bit of compression. This is like a lot of bit of compression, and I probably won't like this at all. But let's go ahead and just kind of stay where I was. I think this is passable. I think this is something I can accept until I can figure out the problem that I'm having with OBS. I don't know. The audio in OBS just all of a sudden started sounding horrible, and it sounded like you were like recording with two different mics at the same time. So you could actually hear them, like one was a little behind the other, so there was like a little bit of a latency issue. I did put out a post on OBS on the forum page, but everybody knows that could be. I might get an answer in a couple days. I might not get an answer or a response for a couple years. So there's that. So in the meantime, since I can't use OBS anymore, and I really hate that, I could try to do this and get away with this. Like I said, you're a little bit limited in Streamlabs as to what you can do opposed to what you can do in OBS. I'm not a master of OBS or Streamlabs. Streamlabs I've used once like a year ago, and now I'm just using it now. So if anybody has any suggestions on how I can get VST plugins to work in Streamlabs, I know I've Googled it and followed the steps that I found step by step, and those steps don't pan out in Streamlabs. Like the options that it tells me to go through, that I don't have them all, because when I go into the filters in Streamlabs, there's just the options I gave you. There's no option like in OBS. At the bottom of all those options of filters, there's a plus button, and then you can I'm sorry. There's an option that says VST plugin, and if you add that, you can then go in and pull in from your computer any VST plugins that you've downloaded. So that's what I've come to love and really enjoy about OBS. Just a small thing. I really don't use OBS to its fullest potential. I use it for what I need to do and what I need to get done, and that's it. So, but if anybody has any suggestions on how I can get some VST plugins to work in Streamlabs or be able to pull them in somehow, that would be cool, and I would appreciate it. And it's been a little bit since I put anything out because I've been dealing with this audio issue on top of being sick. It's been like 5 weeks of off and on sick, nasal congestion, throat stuff. It's just annoying. But anyway, slowly getting back there, and I'm going to try to get acquainted with the Streamlabs and start getting back to some of my reviews. I've got a few products in here that need to get reviewed and need to be posted. So, yeah, if anybody has any help, I would appreciate any help I can get. And then there's the issue, if you're able to help or have any insight with OBS, that would be cool. I can show an example video in this video of what the audio sounds like, and I can tell you that I have worked with Red Cabin Acoustic. I have worked with Know Your Joe. Me and Bill from Know Your Joe have worked hours and hours over the phone, uninstalling software, uninstalling everything that OBS has for files in my computer. I've completely taken everything out and put it back in, switched hardware, switched XLR cables, switched power cords, switched everything you can think of that you could probably suggest we've probably already tried, and the audio just sounds like crap. So I'll put a sample of that in this video. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. But other than that, hopefully we'll have some more content coming out soon. I am back up and running minimally, so there's that. And that's it. I just kind of wanted to come on real quick and make something, kind of put it out there. I have reached out to my direct friends that I call friends in the YouTube community. We've all kind of put our heads together and pounded this thing and didn't really get anywhere. It didn't. Still trying to figure it out. So I figure if I put this out and post it, maybe somebody else might see it and go, oh, I know exactly what it is. Very doubtful, but why not give it a shot? So that's it. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.